First of all, I appreciate you coming out tonight and giving me a chance to hear from you. I'd like to open with a few comments to you first, though. This is not an easy discussion. This is about the future of this school, and it's about where your own children are going to be going to school next year. And I understand it's very personal. As you're aware, I have recommended to the State Board of Education that the charter for the Lowell Community Charter School not be renewed. So what does that mean? Charters in Massachusetts, the charter is the authorization to run a school. Charters are given to schools for 5 years at a time. And at the end of the 5-year period, the charter has to be renewed for another 5-year period for the charter to continue going. Lowell Community Charter School has been renewed once. You're in your 10th year as a school, and right now you're at the point where the State Board of Education, that's the group that I work for, they're the group that has the authority to charter schools, to issue the charters, to renew the charters, to make the decisions not to renew the charters. And so they have to make a decision at the end of this month. I think it's February 23rd, I believe is the date, that they'll be meeting, and they'll have to make a decision about whether or not to renew the charter for this school or not renew it. Now, if they don't renew the charter for the school, here's what happens. The school has the right to ask for a hearing. So if the State Board of Education decides not to renew the school's charter, the school has the right to ask for a hearing. The State Board of Education will hire an impartial hearing officer, someone who's not a member, not a staff member, not a member of the State Board of Education, who will conduct a hearing. They'll hear testimony from the school, they'll hear testimony from the state, and he or she will then make a recommendation to the State Board, and then the board will take a final vote on the non-renewal of the charter. Now, why am I even thinking about not renewing the charter for this school? Obviously, you've got a lot of parents here who believe in the school. You've got a lot of children here who believe in the school. Here's what I see when I look at the track record for the Lowell Community Charter School. And I have to tell you, I'm here to speak frankly with you. I'm not here to denigrate the effort of people in this school. I'm not here to be negative about the school, but I'm here to tell the truth, the way I see it, and to let you know why I've made the recommendation to the State Board of Education not to renew the charter. I expect that after 10 years of being up and running, a school is running well, that the governing body is taking care of business of making sure there's good management in the school, making sure there's really strong programs for children in the school, making sure that children are learning to read well, to write well, to do their math well, making sure that children are learning science and social studies, the arts, languages, physical education, and then it's a well-functioning school. That is not what I see at Lowell Community Charter School. When we look at the results for the school, the performance of your children, when we look at whether or not they're reading well, writing well, doing math well, what we see is a school, not just this most recent year, but when we look back 5 years, 6 years, where the results are very low. There are lots of young people in this school who are not learning to read well, learning to write well, learning to do math well. And those results concern me. It's your children's education, and it's their opportunity going forward to go to other schools, to build on those foundational skills that are going to determine whether or not they can continue their education, can get good jobs, and so forth. And in fact, when we look at the results, and I have to tell you, I've drilled into it every which way I can. When we look at the results, they trail most of the schools in the state, including trailing most of the schools in Lowell, in the Lowell Public School District. Now, again, I want to tell you, I'm not here to put the school down, but I do believe I owe it to you to be absolutely clear to you as to what my concerns are. When I look at the Board of Trustees' track record in ensuring that the right management, strong programs for children are in place, I'm not happy with what I see. And it doesn't give me a lot of confidence. Now, I know that the school, the Board of Trustees, from what I hear, is beginning to get the message. And my understanding is that you've had some conversations with organizations that have experience in running schools. And my understanding is that the Board of Trustees is exploring whether or not to bring one of those organizations in to help turn things around, to help make sure really strong reading, math, science, social studies, writing programs are in place. And I'm glad to hear that those conversations are taking place, because what I see here is going to be more than just changing a principal or more than just changing a curriculum director. You really need somebody, before I have confidence that this school is going to be able to get itself on the right track sooner rather than later. We really need to see some substantial, major change in the way the school is run, who runs the school, the program, overseeing the program. It's not just a matter of buying new textbooks or a new reading series. Someone has to work with teachers to make sure they're using the best techniques. Someone has to make sure that the program is being implemented well, and that is not happening with the current leadership here. Again, these are tough words for me to deliver to you. I don't enjoy doing that, but I've got to tell you the truth, the way I see it. I also know that the Lowell School District has begun conversations about whether or not there's any type of opportunity for bringing the school into the school district without disbanding the school. I'm not clear exactly where those conversations are. I know that the school committee is asked to meet with me, and I know we're setting that meeting up. In fact, we originally we're going to meet tomorrow night. That has to be changed. I think everybody would like to see a positive resolution for this school, but I think people are getting the message that it's just, I can't in good conscience, watching how many young people in this school are just falling behind the rest of their peers in Lowell and in the state, falling behind them in terms of reading skills, writing skills, math skills. I cannot in good conscience just kind of let that muddle along. I need to see some kind of solution that's going to give me confidence that a year from now things are going to look a lot different in terms of the program, the leadership, the management of this school.